Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 5707 Southeast Monroe Street here in Milwaukee. Located up on the rooftop, we're going down through a 4-inch cast iron vent. Oop. Swaps right over to ABS plastic, look at that. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's currently running. Got some cobwebs to clear out the lens here really quick. Once we get back down to the base there, we'll zero the foot counter out. Alrighty, off we go here. Alright, that'll be our 0 point there. I do have a bathtub running full bore right now. There might be a little bit of standing water at the base of the vent. We'll see once it drains out. We're dumping enough water down line though. It could easily just be because of the amount of volume going through that one spot. So from the sounds of it, the home inspector was down in the crawl space. Sounds like the line does indeed shoot out the rear of the house. You know, knowing that, it looks like we just hung a left-hand turn there. And I describe everything as if you're standing in the street looking at the front door, or looking at the front of the house in general. So it looks like we're going out toward the side street right now to the left of this house. And the reason for the configuration here, you know, most people understand the average sewer line goes out the front. The reason this one's going out the back is a lot of these old houses used to be on septic and cesspool. And because of how expensive it is to reverse the plumbing underneath your home to go back out the front, most folks opt to just keep it going out the back. They loft the pipe off from the cesspool or septic, and then just wrap the line around the house or shoot it out to a side street. And one of the things I love about Milwaukee, it's very uncommon, but you often will get cast iron pipe all the way to the street edge, if not all the way to the main sometimes, which is a very uncommon thing. If you're going to have old pipe materials, cast iron's the stuff you want to have. Your average house from this era, you would have been in concrete pipe for about the last 65 feet or so, which does not hold up anywhere near as well as cast iron does, especially to root intrusions and settling issues. Just hope we can make it all the way there here. I'm having a little bit of a time getting this thing to move through the line right now. That turn right there may do us in. Alright, coming up on concrete transition. Generally speaking, that usually means we've reached the street edge. sewer line that never ends, isn't it? We're going to give this a few more heave hose here, and then we're going to call it. I'm having to beat on my camera way too hard to get it to move right now. I'm only getting maybe 6 inches every time I push on the camera, and I run the risk of breaking the equipment at this point. Alright, we're going to go ahead and call it here. I'm having too hard of a time pushing this thing at this point. I'm going to go locate and see where we are here. Alrighty, so we located here. We are out on Stanley Avenue, and we're about halfway across the street right now. So the line cuts across the back of the property towards Stanley. Once it gets out to Stanley, it makes about a 45-degree turn and starts to run up the road at an angle. On the opposite side of the street, let's see, this is about 2 houses up the street from you. On the opposite side of the road, you'll see a manhole with some green paint markings, and the line right now is heading straight towards that. And there's also some city paint markings, locate markings over there that line up with my locates. So at one point in time, that main did not probably come all the way up the street, and that was the only option. So where we're sitting currently is probably about 15, maybe as much as 20 feet shy of the main, with absolutely zero indication of flow problems ahead. This line is spotless clean. After 13 years of scoping sewer lines, about 25,000 sewer scopes that I've done, before I ever get to a problem, I can tell you there's a problem ahead, because you're going to have buildup all over the place. And this is, I'm referring to issues that actually cause blockages and or recurring blockages. When a line backs up, you get debris buildup all over the place, especially at the top of the sewer line, and it stays there. The water line never naturally touches that area. So anyway, these are all good things, and without secondary clean-out accesses, you're never going to get that far. It's a miracle we made it to where we did, to be honest. So, but because of the length of this thing, and because you do have concrete pipe, what I highly recommend doing is periodically checking on this line. Concrete, the weak point in concrete are the pipe joints. And as time goes on, every concrete line out there wears out just about the same way. The joints give out first. And they start to get exposed to the ground and allow groundwater and dirt to flow through. It usually happens very slowly. But what happens is it'll cause hydro erosion, and it'll cause the support underneath the pipe to erode out from underneath it, and then you get progressive settling. Once a line's settled bad enough, you lose the ability to do what's called a trenchless epoxy liner, which when you have a line that goes under a roadway like that, it is exorbitantly expensive to repair the good old-fashioned way. If you do a liner, your liner scenario here would probably come in about 3 to 4 times cheaper than traditional excavation. So if it's a home you're going to be in a while, living out your days, I would be rescoping this thing about every 2 years to monitor. the condition of the line, and when you start seeing signs of that happen, that's when you want to start budgeting to do the liner on it. You can fix it however you want to when that day comes, but that method will save you gargantuan sums of money. And whoever installed this thing, I'd like to shake their hand. It is not, I mean, I camera lines frequently that are 200 plus feet, that are 2 years old, that are not graded anywhere near. This thing is graded beautifully. There is no standing water in it. It is just immaculate considering its age. And it's a very difficult task to grade a line. This thing in total here is probably, about 100 and, you're probably getting close to 155 feet, 100. That long and essentially have zero settling is incredible. Whether it was just put in yesterday or 60 years later, it's even more impressive is how old this thing is. And essentially zero shifting has taken place. What I will tell you, if you're not used to living in older homes with older pipe materials like this, that some of the stuff you're seeing, they're like, looks like a wipe. I'm not going to recommend cleaning unless I see a lot of them. Because jetting a line does put wear and tear on these old pipe materials. And unless I see a significant amount that warrants it, I don't recommend the wear and tear on the line over a few wipes. But you don't want to put improper things down them, is what I'm getting at. They're not forgiving to wipes, paper towels. Flushable wipes are another one. I include those in the improper category. Keep it to toilet paper. When you get a blockage made out of wipes in a cast iron line, it blocks really good. And it's not one you have hardly any chance of breaking loose naturally. Anyway, great flow all the way out to about 136 feet there. Every inch of the line is intact and in good condition for its age. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time, all the way to 136 feet with no indication whatsoever of any significant flow issues ahead. And given how nicely graded this thing is out to 136 feet, I have no reason to believe that it looks any different beyond that point. So again, the line shoots out the back, turns, runs out to Stanley. Once you get out to the street, it turns and goes up the street that direction. We're pretty much looking straight at the house right now, but it's on the opposite side of the road. Right where their driveway is at, you'll see a manhole. That's where the line's headed.